said sorry, I'ma have to pass like Nash to Amari. Tiger up early on a Sunday, sinking birdies while the pigskin spinning through the air, tight and birdie. It's a TD, it's a TKO, a home run, it's a hat trick. Ain't no way to be an all-star without practice. So if you down to sacrifice your life for a draft pick, it's a pretty sweet position. You can live it if you have some things in the air. If you got game, wake up like you just don't care. If you got game, playing like you got no fear, then you got game. If you came here to win, yeah, you got game.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's Local Music Somewhere on our beat station. I'm Jackie, and today I've got a personal friend and guest, Atticus Lane.
What's up, everybody? That was a very interesting picture of me.
Yeah.
that I totally didn't send in myself. I looked like I was having a blast.
Well, you look like a rock star. Well, Atticus is actually somebody that produced our first, or is producing our first EP and recorded for us. So I've got a bit of a personal relationship. So I think, as somebody who is personally involved with you, I would like to know why you're into music. What got you into it? What's your inspiration? Why you like what you like? Tell me a bit about yourself.
I mean, it all starts when we're young, right? You know, like when I was in middle school, I started writing like poetry, and I started getting made fun of for that. So I wanted to do music. I had no talent whatsoever. So like, I couldn't play guitar. I couldn't play any instruments. I didn't know anybody else who did music.
Not a band kid?
No.
Wow.
I tried to be an athlete.
Oh, yeah.
I was kind of athletic, but I didn't, obviously I didn't go anywhere with it. But I really wanted to, start getting into something artistic. And so I started rapping because I was writing poetry. I couldn't sing. I couldn't play any instruments. And I was like, okay, well, I like words. So what's the genre that has the most words? And
I can't even imagine you rapping, honestly. That's a crazy image in my head right now.
Dude, I did it for like 6 years. The last show that I ever did, I headlined and sold out the Milestone. It was awesome. It was a wild night.
Wow.
You don't see a lot of hip hop at the Milestones.
No,
Having people scream hip hop, like people rap at the Milestones, really, really fun.
Yeah, that sounds like a great time.
It was actually the first Seneca Burns show too. It was kind of like a fake out thing. I did like this whole hiatus thing. Yeah, we'll get into that. But yeah, I mean, I started rapping and got made fun of until my senior year of high school. And then everybody kind of becomes friends senior year of high school for the most part. And, people started to get behind me and did it for a couple of years, started to play guitar, started to learn production. And
how'd you pick up the guitar?
I wanted to learn how to play Way to Fall by Star Sailor.
I don't think I've heard of that song, honestly.
It's the credits song of Metal Gear Solid 3.
Oh, okay.
It's very,
okay.
very random. Like,
Nick would know that. Nick would know that song in a heartbeat.
So I wanted to learn how to play that song, and so I just beat my head against an acoustic guitar until I knew how to play it. Then I was like, okay, well, I want to play this song from Final Fantasy X, and so I played that, and like eventually I had like 10 songs, and then eventually I could start to pick up things by ear, and then I did start learning late. I started learning when I was like 19, 20. My roommate at UNC, my roommate at UNC Charlotte had an acoustic guitar that he never played, and so it just sat in my room. And I would
give
just
it some love. Yeah.
I wish I still had that thing. It was nice.
How'd you get into production? Because that's a whole world on its own.
So
same time with the hip hop stuff, or
So I mean, pretty much every rapper nowadays is in their bedroom. You know, you can easily get a microphone. I started working at Belk Department Store when I was a senior in high school, because I didn't get my license until I was 20.
Wow.
Like, it was, for some reason, nobody would let me get my license as a kid. And so I had somebody who worked at Claire's in the mall down in Monroe, and they would take me to and from work while they were going to work at Claire's. And so I got a job at Belk Department Store, and I bought a Blue Yeti, like the OG USB mic. And
I still remember those.
Yeah. Didn't know how to mix, didn't know how to do anything. And just sort of slowly over the years, you kind of learn off of necessity.
Better and better, yeah.
And then, like, I was always into, like, pop punk music, but I always say that Seneca is music for people who were on or into, like, video game soundtracks in the mid 2000s. And so like just all that kind of stuff, like some of it heavier, some of it softer, you know, but a lot of it fast, high energy.
So you're more inspired by like the creative like OST stuff.
Yeah, well, like I got to that point, but when I was a kid playing like Madden, like the sports, like the licensed soundtracks, you know. I remember when my brothers got Madden 04 when I was a tiny kid, and the minute that you boot that song up, or you boot that game up, Feeling This by Blink-182 plays.
Yep.
And they were huge Blink fans. So like that's just like that kind of music always resonated with me. And
I mean, Blink-182 is like the pop punk band.
yeah,
So
I'm a big fan. I'm a mark, as people say.
Yeah.
I'm a big mark for it. But yeah, no, like as far as production goes, like I wanted to incorporate guitar and I wanted to incorporate, you know, more natural elements in
expand yourself.
Yeah, and I failed miserably for years. Like there's a bunch of music out there that's just absolutely terrible of mine. And I threaten like once or twice a year to take it down, and there's 5 people that are friends of mine like, no, don't, I like it. And I'm like, well, you're the only ones.
Yeah,
I'll send you a CD. Like
I think every artist has one of those moments where they like. I was in a band right before Slugline, and we put out one song on Spotify, and for like a solid month, I thought it was horrible. Now then, when I look back on it, I'm like, you know what? It's not that bad.
Yeah.
You know, if it's a passion project, it's fun.
what band was it?
This we never played. You would have never heard of us. It was This House Needs You. And actually, the song we have on Spotify, I actually rep now, because now I go back and look at it with fresh ears. That was the first song I ever put out. It was actually kind of not awful. But I just, you know, it's hard when you put out something and it's not exactly the vision that you had, and it's not the end goal that you put yourself into. So I get it.
Speaking on the production, like how I got into it and, you know, sort of why I'm doing it, like that whole mindset, it took me so long to get something that I was like purely happy with.
Proud of, yeah.
And, you know, I'm 29 now. Seneca's only been a band for 4 years.
Has it really?
Yeah. So like I was 25 when we played our first show. Like
I still remember being 18, going to the Milestones, seeing you there.
Yeah. Like it happened so late for me compared to a lot of our friends.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So like the whole reason that I started doing the studio publicly is because I got to a point where I felt like I was happy with what we were doing production wise. Still wanted to grow, wasn't complacent, but I was
for
like,
any unfortunate person that hasn't heard y'all's music, the production quality is actually phenomenal. Like you guys put it together.
Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot. And the whole philosophy behind the studio is like, I'm not trying to get like big clients.
Yeah.
Like y'all's first project. Like
yeah, you threw us a bone hell on that one.
Like I want to give young people an opportunity to do something that's quite a bit better quality than they thought they were even capable of.
Yeah.
And not break the bank, you know, not do. I know I've got some friends down in Florida that paid $2,000 a song for their first EP. And it was like, they were like, yeah, we've been working on it for 6 years because it's taken that long to pay it off. And I'm like, brother, man, like
that's a lot of money.
That's
a lot of money.
That is a ton of money. I bought the whole studio for less than what you paid for that EP.
Wow. I mean, that just means that you have work that people are willing to pay for. It's, you know, a commendation for you.
Yeah, I'm very grateful, and you know, I've had a lot of help from people around me. You know, Peter from Home for the Day letting me use his basement.
Yeah.
He used to have a studio back in the day called Top Heavy with one of his friends, Steven Gantert, and they did a lot of things in a very short period of time. One of Matt's old bands, No Rope. They did all the Home for the Day stuff. They worked on a couple of people, and they had like this like storage container that had been converted into a studio. It was beautiful.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, me and my old bandmate Mike wanted to buy it, and we never ended up getting it. But it was like this storage container that you walk in, and there's a control room, and they built this partition with a wall and soundproofed a tracking room, and then there was a booth on the far end of it, and everything was routed. They had a console. It was amazing. It was beautiful.
Wow, that sounds really cool, actually. Yeah. So was that your first experience like in that like studio world?
No, actually.
Minus the bedroom stuff.
Yeah. So the first real experience that I had while being in a bedroom, we sectioned off 3 rooms of a house. The house was moved into the day that Seneca Burns played its first show.
Oh, awesome.
My drummer, Christian, my old bandmate in a band I was in called Duckbeak, they moved into a house together, and it was over in Matthews somewhere, and it was just like this front room, this back room was a control room, and they used this really big room for like when you wanted a big drum sound and everything like that.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a dream. Like, you go into a house and there's just snakes running all around you, like with the audio
the
snakes.
cables.
And you go in, and Mike had this really big Allen and Heath console that was so cumbersome and so stupid and sounded so good.
I'm sure.
Like, it was super rad. And for, a couple of years we were recording projects, me and Mike together. We did this band called Izar Estelle, who kind of morphed into
I've actually heard of that band.
Physical Digital. Drew,
I love Physical Digital.
It was Drew's old band.
Wow.
Drew and Jack's old band, because they did Sondheim for a little bit, and that was the direct successor to Izar. But Physical Digital kind of became the bigger project of them all.
I mean, I've seen them play like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, we played. You remember going to the Spokeasy?
Yeah.
Yeah, we played the Spokeasy with them one time.
Wow.
It was a super rad show.
I'm so bummed I missed that, actually. What? Because Spokeasy, that was an all-ages show, so I would have been able to go in even at 18, 19, so.
Yeah.
But how did you get into, like aside from Madden and stuff like that, what got you even interested in being a creative? Like, you said you wanted to be an athlete. What was the difference? What made it more permanent for you being creative than being an athlete?
I think it's the show. And what I mean by that is, like, I've done a little bit of pro wrestling, like low key.
Like Jeremy?
Yeah, a little bit. It's like the talking and the cutting the promo, and like it's just the show for me. And when I played, when I played football, it was the show. Like I remember, throw a deep ball, catch it, come down, and the crowd pops, and you hear your name coming back at you, and it fuels you more. And it's like, it's, for me, it was always, and that's kind of an attention hungry thing. That's maybe not the best thing in the world, but all of us musicians have big egos. It's the heart of a performer.
Yeah. You wanted to perform.
Exactly. And I think that's where it, all rooted for me is, and when I first went to bigger shows, I didn't go to concerts much when I was younger. I didn't really start going to concerts until I was like 21, 22.
Neither did I, honestly. So, I mean, aside from local shows, but when I started turning 18, 17.
But like, once I found that, there was nothing like it. When you go on tour and you're playing a different city every night and you're just like immersed in it, it doesn't matter that you're traveling for basically a hot dog and a handshake.
Yep.
You get to perform and you get to meet people, and even if there's 10 people at the show, 2 of those people are going to tell you you're the greatest thing in the world and you're XYZ, and it's like,
you get paid
so
the experience.
Exactly.
Actually, you want to talk about that? I didn't know you toured like that. I know you guys were a lot bigger than a lot of local bands get. But tell me about like the touring experience. Like, what was your experience in Seneca Burns?
So we played our first show on February 4th of 2022. It was the last Atticus Lane show. I had spent 4 months like hyping this thing up. And Buck took a chance on me. I was like, hey, man, can I get a weekend? I know this is a brand new thing, but just trust me. And the thing that I'm really proud of about all of it is that we were the only local. Like,
so
Atticus Lane
out of town.
Yes. So Second After came from Raleigh. Come Clean came from Kernersville, Greensboro, Triad area. And the Handoff came from up north past Statesville. So we headlined it, and it's kind of where my philosophy came with, drawing tickets and being the cock of the walk, as they say. Like, we wanted to headline a show. We didn't know we were going to sell it out, but we wanted to make a big impact as the star of the show. I'm sure you've been on shows or seen shows where someone's like, can we play that second slot? Can we play that third slot?
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's when the most people are there.
It's also, you get to have fun. You get to play early and then go drink and stuff. So I get the appeal, but
yeah,
I'm honestly on board with that. Like, for our first milestone show, I'm not going to do anything other than headline.
And that is, you live and die off of your own pull, off of your own everything.
Yeah.
If it's a great show, then you put that on your back and you
did
sold
that.
out the milestone.
Especially because you organized it, I assume, or
Yes.
you and Buck did.
Yeah. So we did that. And it was this weird thing where we actually did like a fake out. We booked a tour for Atticus Lane with the band Home
You
for the
mentioned
Day.
that earlier.
So our first 2 shows were the Sellout Milestone show. There was a live stream for charity that we did the next night, actually up in Taylorsville, where our studio is now.
Oh, that's
that
awesome.
used to be a live stream studio.
Wow, Taylorsville, that's a drive. You did see that?
It didn't happen, y'all.
No, it didn't happen.
Yeah, so we did that, and actually I got a speeding ticket on the way home from that.
Damn. I get it. When we were coming back from Taylorsville, we were booking it down that highway.
You can't mess with 64, man. There's state troopers will get you.
Yep. It's brutal.
But yeah, so about 6 weeks after that, in the second week of March, we left for a 12-day tour. Like our third and fourth immediately. Yeah.
Wow.
Because we already had it booked.
How did you get that booked?
Because we booked it with Atticus Lane. And we did a fake out. Because nobody would have booked it. I was like,
You already had the motion with Atticus Lane, so now you're going Seneca. That's actually a phenomenal idea.
Yeah. Well, I was like, if we do this big show, it's got to immediately follow by something that nobody does.
Yeah.
Especially at the time, there wasn't a lot of local bands touring. I know, like, you'll see Blank State and Wastoid and all these bands touring, and it's because that generation that came up, like, right at the end of COVID, like, they knew what's up.
Yeah.
When I was, like, the little bit of time I was in the scene before COVID, like, you didn't really see a whole lot of touring. It was...
That's what Kellen tells me a lot about that early scene, and it doesn't sound very, like, it's not a lot of eyes on it, you know what I'm saying?
Wasn't a lot of eyes. It didn't feel very welcoming to me. I won't go too far into it because I can be a little bitter, a little gripey, because it took a while for me to really break into Charlotte. I had to play all of my hip-hop shows in Greensboro. That was the only scene. I had to drive to Greensboro 2 or 3 times a month.
I get the cynicism on that, though, because Charlotte's like hip-hop. There's no real hip-hop scene, like, especially specifically locally, actually.
Yeah.
Because this channel is local music somewhere. I'm all about local music, all about, like, the community locally. But they're, like, as far as, like, there's a vivid punk scene, but nowadays there's a bit more of a hip-hop scene, but it's still desolate.
Yeah, there was a little period. I haven't seen much of what's been going on. There's a period where Phase God was killing it. He is an incredible talent. He'll show up sometimes.
And like Young Death God.
Yes.
Gami.
Yeah.
Crazy performers, by the way.
I haven't gotten to play a show with Gami. We talked about it for years.
Gami knows how to put on a show, too.
He's fantastic. He's the kind of guy that makes all the, like, 30-year-olds go, oh, what is this kid doing? He's so much noise. And like me, I'm like, hell yeah.
You throw him on a bill. I've seen him on bills with like metal artists and like punk artists, and he throws down. But tell me, all right, so let's get not too off track. Tell me more about Seneca Burns and the tours. Like, how was life like on the road? Were you playing different states, different cities?
Yeah, so our first tour would have been Winston-Salem, Greensboro, I can't remember. We played the Den, so it would have been Winston-Salem. We hit Raleigh, Virginia Beach, Philadelphia. That was the worst show ever.
Wow.
It was the worst show. It's a place called The Fire. Don't play The Fire.
If anyone,
they locked our merch kid. He was 20, and they locked our merch kid in an attic because it was a 21-up venue, and they were like, nope, he's either going to be outside on the street or he's got to be up in the attic with the old owner's cats. Like, it was, and like, you don't want to put the 20-year-old on the streets of Philly. Like, no.
Dude,
like,
Philly is an interesting city, so I don't know. That sounded like a great idea.
I've only ever played The Fire and a place called Walmart Beach, and you should play Walmart Beach.
Walmart Beach? Like
you have to find, yes, you park at Walmart, you grab a cart, you load your gear into the cart, and you push it behind Walmart. Because, Philly and Camden are on the river.
Yeah.
So they used to have like these warehouses that have these big docks, and they would be, people would drive, like pull the boat up and they would, unload it or whatever. Well, a lot of those have gone away.
Yeah.
But the concrete piers are still there. So it's just this big concrete pier that there's nothing on it, and kids will load up, bring all their gear out there with a generator. We actually, one time, we had to buy a generator at Walmart and then take it immediately back.
I mean, it's convenient that it's in the Walmart, so.
Yeah, but they call it Walmart Beach, and it's a very, very, pretty because you're playing a show on the river.
That's awesome.
It's so rad. It's so cool.
All right, that's a bucket list now.
Where did we go after that? We went to Brooklyn and did like an in-studio vinyl recording thing.
Brooklyn, like
New York.
Brooklyn. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
We went to Boston the next night. We went to Rochester the night after that. We went to West Virginia the night after that, and Tennessee. And I'm probably forgetting something. I think the one I'm forgetting is we played another show in Charlotte at the
So
end
y'all
of
just
that
went
tour.
right up the East Coast.
Just booking it. And yeah, we did like a couple of weekenders here and there regionally.
Yeah.
We hit another big tour in October of 23. So this is about a year and a half later, where we started in Indy and sort of did the opposite loop, where we went around like up in Indy, then up through Rochester, Buffalo, New York.
Oh, wow. So
Came
yeah,
back
you went
down.
more like that.
Yeah. And then we came back down through Charlotte in the middle of the tour and played Welcome to the Family Fest that year.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. And then hit down through Atlanta, went back up through Tennessee on my birthday. And then we picked up randomly this Winston-Salem show with a band called the Iron Roses. And the singer, Nathan Natasha, is the singer. They've since broken up, but is the singer of Boy Sets Fire, which was a all right sized band back in the 2000s. And so anytime the Iron Roses would hit us, I was like, yeah, we're playing with
Of
them.
course.
So we shot back over to Winston-Salem and then overnighted it to Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Wow.
that's
quite the difference in area.
that was a lot. That was
I'm sure.
quite a bit. And then we went on another tour in the summer of 2024 around the Bar Down festivals. So we would put on, for 2 years in a row, we did Bar Down Break Fest at the Milestone. And it was kind of a pop punk emo themed. The first year I was able to sneak like Wastoid and
Some
Vertigo
more
and
punk
stuff.
projects, yeah.
But the second year it was a much tighter lineup. I think the last 4 bands were American Theory, Sweet Spine, Keep Flying from Long Island, and us. Like
that's a pretty good lineup.
It was.
I've seen Sweet Spine and American Theory.
Yeah. But around that festival, we also had a day of that festival in Orlando, and then we also had a day of that festival in Richmond.
Orlando, Florida, and Richmond, Virginia?
Yes.
The same, like 2 days apart or the same day?
No, it was Saturdays. So we went down there, had Bar Down Breakfest Orlando on Saturday, toured for a week, had Bar Down Breakfest Charlotte, toured for a week, had Bar Down Richmond.
God, I would hate my bandmates if I had to be with them that much.
Well, you know what? It's one of those things, like you kind of find out what you're made of. You find out where your heart is in terms of the whole thing. At the end of all of them, I was ready to keep going.
Yeah.
And for the most part, we all were. I think I was probably the one who was most ready to keep going, just because
You have the most motivation.
Of the most motivation, but financially, I structure my life around stuff like that more.
Okay, yeah.
So I was ready to go. I had
It's
money.
sustainable for you.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, there's nothing like touring. There's absolutely nothing like touring.
I'm so ready for that part of the career.
If you're not built for it, it can be a drag, and you'll find solace in those 30 minutes every night. But
Yeah.
if you are built for it, like just getting to see different towns and different everything like that. It's why, when I was doing merch this summer, that was a lot of traveling, but it was no sweat off of my back. People were like,
It's fun.
you had to
Plenty of
drive
faces and stuff.
Yeah, you have to drive to Houston. I'm like, I don't really care. That's nothing. 16 hours is nothing to me.
I used to listen to music the whole time.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's like, it's a level of traveling, sightseeing, and vacations. Actually, this is something I've asked a lot of musicians, like just on my free time. Did you ever want to become a successful musician purely so you could get paid to travel the world?
A little bit, I think.
I mean, maybe not purely, but huge reason.
I get what you're saying. It's for me, I don't want to ever hold anybody. It's not about money for me.
Yeah.
It's about just making sure my bills are paid.
Yeah.
I don't need copious amounts of money. I would play music and do 300 days a year for a teacher's salary. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Which
absolutely.
is not as much as it should be, admittedly, to pay our teachers. But I would as long as my bills are paid, that's the happiness. I would sacrifice money, and I don't need a nice car. I drive a hoopty. I'm not out here trying to level up financially. I just want to make sure that my bills are paid so that I can do this thing that I love, because doing this thing that I love makes me just
sustaining your passion.
It's the only reason I get up in the morning.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. It's certainly like one of those things I think most musicians would be able to understand. It's like a driving factor in every step you make. Like it's not a second hour goes by, you don't really think about it, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think this is a good little transition point. We can take a little break and go to a little commercial, and we'll be right back. Sound good?
Sounds good with me.
Perfect.
Hey everyone, if you're like me, music isn't just background noise, it's the soundtrack to our lives, pumping energy into our everyday moments and helping us feel, well, more alive. Today I'm excited to talk about something that's revolutionizing the way we experience music. Our Beats Radio. Created in 2012 by a diverse group of artists, songwriters, and musicians, Our Beats isn't your ordinary radio station. It's a universal, unique, boutique internet radio and media streaming service that's all about simplicity and inclusivity. Whether you're an artist looking to share your tunes or a listener craving new beats, Our Beats is here to amplify your experience. Now picture this. You're grabbing a 6-pack or 12-pack of radio streams, tuning in and discovering music that's played non-stop. 25 hours a day, 8 days a week, 366 days a year. Yes, you heard that right. Our Beats is committed to making sure your music, your voice is heard around the clock. Their mission? To provide a platform where all musical and artistic talent can shine. They keep it simple. KISS, or keep it simple sweet, with an open book policy that welcomes all creators. And the vision? It's all about inclusivity. Our Beats welcomes the most discerning listeners as well as the non-discerning ones, making it a hub for music discovery and media enthusiasts everywhere. As a member of ASCAP, BMI, CSAC, Sound Exchange, and Popology, Our Beats stands as a proud advocate and supporter of artists and musicians. By tuning into Our Beats, you're not just listening to music, you're supporting an entire community of independent musicians and artists from all over the world. So what are you waiting for? Whether you're here to listen, read, watch, or support, Our Beats is your gateway to the future of music. Join the Our Beats radio revolution. Let's make the world listen. The future of music is now, and it's waiting for you. Remember, less is always more with Our Beats. Tune in, turn up the volume, and let's change the way we experience music together. Catch you on the stream.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to start transitioning. We talk about Seneca Burns a lot, which we'll come back to it. That's not something we're going to forget about. Personally, I told you guys earlier, Atticus, me, Nick, and Ethan, you guys saw us last time. We're extremely, extremely blessed to have Atticus working on our EP. He recorded it for us, is mixing it, mastering. I don't know the fancy lingo. You put a computer in front of me and I'll probably break it. But I know personally that you've worked on a lot of albums and worked with a lot of bands that I personally really enjoyed, brought me into the scene. Namely, the first one you ever told me about was Wastoid. Can you tell me about your experiences, who you've worked with, what you've worked on?
So I'm actually trying to remember what came first, Dead Senate or Wastoid.
I think Dead Senate was out first.
Yeah, they came to me at like the same time. Dead Senate recorded with this guy, and they were recording the album for like 18 months. It was this long process, and they just weren't making a lot of headway. And I remember the tail end of that. Yeah. So they ended up coming to me and they're like, "Hey, if we can just get you the tracks, can you just mix it? And like, if something needs to be fixed, we'll fix it." And they ended up doing that. The reason I bring that up is I went to that guy's studio yesterday. I bought a microphone from him, and I was looking around and I was like, I've seen pictures of this place before. And I sent a picture to one of the guys that was in Dead Senate. They were like, "Why are you there? What are you doing there?" But
Spawn chance.
Yeah, no, I did a Dead Senate album, sort of half of the production and then the mix master for it, and then I did the last two Wastoid records. Ashley, I actually don't know their last name. I think they just go by Ashley. Recorded a majority of that Wastoid record.
Blonde Ashley?
They've had lots of different colors.
Okay.
But they recorded the majority of Occur Everywhere. And I ended up doing some amendments and mixing and mastering it. And then from start to finish, we did the most recent Wastoid album.
Which one was that? What was the color of it?
It was the gray one.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of either of their albums. I'm sorry.
I had it as a different name in my folders. And when it came out, it was like a different thing.
Yeah.
But Yeah, no, and that was an amazing experience because they absolutely came in. They did like 3 sessions and just knocked it out.
And they rock too.
Dude,
Like they're probably not enjoyable. So wait, they're probably really enjoyable to watch.
Yes,
recorded.
Yes. And I just got off the phone with Mike yesterday and talking about doing another one towards the middle of this year. So gonna gear back up for Wastoid time.
I still remember being like 19, being like talking to my friends, be like, "Hey, you guys want to go see Mike Wasted?"
Yeah,
we'd always call him Mike Wasted because Mike Wastoid. We'd always say Mike Wasted.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you bring that up because he's not the only Mike Smith I've ever worked with musically.
Really?
The singer of that band I was in, Duckbeak, that I told you about, that I had the studio with, his name is also Mike Smith.
Oh, fun.
And so I've had to make a distinction in my phone. So now I tell Siri to call Wastoid Mike.
Wastoid Mike, yeah. You got to change it to Wasted Mike now.
Well, Siri will mess it up and go calling Mike Wasted. So it's kind of similar, but yeah, I did the last 2 Wastoid records. I'm really proud of the last one. My roommate and the other guitar player in Seneca Burns, Matt, he is just like, "Man, you did so good on this." I love listening to it.
I was listening to both of those albums not the newer one as much, but that the yellow one.
Yeah, Occur Everywhere.
Yeah, Occur Everywhere. I was listening to that one so much. That one song, 1-800. Did you work on that one too?
That was the old one. That was not the one I worked on. The one that I worked on came out in 2023 on Halloween. It had like Buster and Suppressor.
Yes.
No, the more electronic-y stuff, I don't know if it was like exclusively Ashley or if it was Mike and Tommy and Jarrett. Like,
I was gonna say, I think that was when Jarrett was in the band.
Yeah.
So.
A lot of the Occur Everywhere songs still had Jerry on it from the tracks that he did with Ashley. The ones that we amended, actually Matt from Seneca Burns played on a fair bit of it.
Jarrett's another fantastic local musician too.
Wonderful, wonderful person. I need to text him.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to him in a minute.
I like briefly met him like a year ago, and he was like extremely kind.
Yeah.
And you could just tell that dude's creative. Like when you listen to the music he makes, but he's got it down.
Yeah. Well, like, I don't get out much if it's not a concert. Or like I don't want to really just hang out with people. So somebody like Jerry, like when I see him, it's a long hug. It's an hour and a half long conversation, and then we don't see each other for 6 months.
You got to catch up when you can.
It's the worst. But yeah, so I mean, like starting in production, I tried in 2017, 2018 to work on some bands. And I just wasn't prepared. I was like biting off more than I could chew.
Well, this is you coming off of the hip hop stuff, right?
I'm heavy into it. I hadn't even been in a band yet.
Heard.
And I had like the right philosophies, didn't have the right gear, and didn't have the right mindset. I just, in my opinion, you got to humble yourself, and you got to be like, yeah, I'm not going to do this right the first time. You gotta be
okay with mistakes.
You gotta be okay with mistakes, and you gotta admit that you're gonna mess up a time or two.
Oh yeah.
But
you saw how many tries it took us.
Yeah. Well, no, you guys did. You guys crushed that. That was. I've been in situations with way worse.
That one song though, where we had to like try starting the timing was so we took like at least 20 different tries at that one.
No, you trust me. The Seneca songs, you guys did how many in a day? Like 6 or 7?
Six. I'm sorry. I'm still 20. Sick. Okay, I'm not gonna do that.
Did several songs? We'll get one Seneca song done in a day.
Wow.
And it's a long.
But you guys
process.
are a lot more like technically proficient than us. We're kind of Neanderthals, so.
Well, we're just like meticulous.
Yeah.
Like it's very.
That's a part of making good music, though.
Yeah, and it's also the sound. That's another thing. Like, I watched a YouTube video the other day, and this guy I learned a lot of good lessons from, but he's like, if you're not doing a record to a click and you're not making a serious rock record in 2025 or 2026 or whatever. And I was like, to a point, yes, but like, you guys are gnarly, and a band like Wastoid is gnarly. Like, you don't want that to be robotic.
Yeah.
You want that to flow and be free. And Wastoid especially, like, I didn't notice it super, like, a lot with y'all, but Wastoid, very low key, has, like, tempo shifts that would be, like, there's just vibes.
It'd be really hard with a click track.
You can do it, but it's like, with a click track, if you're doing a lot of tempo stuff, that's getting into, like, the prog stuff. That's getting into, like, the really sophisticated, Berkeley kind of guys. And that's not me
kind of does that, too. Not as much, but
Backwash was a very interesting experience for me, especially considering I talked about doing Dead Senate. You know, Backwash would be Cherry's follow-up. And it's weird. Like, I can hear elements of Dead Senate in it, but Cherry has grown just so much.
Yes, Cherry still has his distinct sound, but...
And they've got the song called Pay to Work, which is just like, it's nothing like any of the rest of it. And I remember, like, they came over and did the final mix masters a couple of weeks ago. And we were like, okay, you said Pay to Work going up in January. Are you putting this song out as a single? And they were like, no. And I went, okay, great. Because people would think that you are something. You are absolutely not if the only thing you had out for 2 months was Pay to Work.
Yeah. I believe they played that when we played. What show was that? Was that Petra's?
It would have been the Petra's show.
Yeah, that was Petra's.
I wasn't in town for the Petra's show. I made it to the Morningside show.
They played 3A both times, and that's still my favorite one. I remember you gave us a little sneak peek when we were in the studio.
I think we're going to do a video for 3A.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's going to be awesome. I will definitely be watching that. I remember Kat sent me a video in the studio of y'all listening to the audio spoof that we did.
Yes. I've shown many of people that.
I mean, it's pretty hilarious. It's taking everything. There was a second when we were in the first half of this segment. I like looked you in the face and I like remembered that, and I tried everything in me not to just start saying it. Recording's so much fun. Like, it's got to be something you enjoy, working with so many different bands, especially because you see like returning faces like Cherry with Dead Senate and Backwash. I don't know. Did you do anything with Litterkin?
I never did. That was pretty much exclusively Ashley. Honestly, I think that was Mike and Ashley's like pet project.
Yeah.
And Tommy would drum on it live, but
Ashley does solo stuff now, right?
Yeah. Ashley's incredibly talented.
I just saw them play at the Milestone recently with I think Gami.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sick. Yeah, no, Ashley's incredibly talented. Ashley's amazing.
Oh yeah, phenomenal. Really cool person to talk to as well.
Yeah. But like going back to the beginning, I mean, I did all of the production on all the Atticus Lane stuff.
Yeah.
I produced an EP for a rapper in Monroe named Jay Lee, and he is really cool and really talented, and it was kind of just like the elements of his life made it to where he couldn't spend a lot of time doing the music that he wanted to do.
Yeah.
Elsewise, he would be, alongside of me in some capacity. Trying to think of what else I did. I did a lot of engineering and production for a collective out of Greensboro called Goat City. I was actually with them for a while.
Oh, like as Seneca Burns or Atticus Lane?
As Atticus Lane. It was just a hip hop collective of people of like-minded interests and everything like that. And I'm actually signed on now on retainer to like handle all of their like mix mastering going forward.
Awesome.
So it's going to be really fun reconnecting with those guys, and they're going to try to get me to rap again, and I'm not going to do it.
You say that now.
No, I don't. It was bad. It was terrible. But outside of that, I mean, once I got involved in Duckbeak with Mike, it was like things kind of opened way up for me in terms of, Todd Jordan was in a band called Tetanus. And you remember Tetanus.
I remember Tetanus.
So before COVID, that sort of clique basically ran roughshod at a house venue called the Ritter House. And it was over off Rittenhouse Drive on North Sardis Road on 74, like that kind of thing. And man, they just had a beautiful scene.
I remember that was when I was coming into the not like demise of that, but like Tetanus had like just broken up, but they were still going to like every single show.
Yeah.
And it was that like whole like, I don't know if clique is the right word, but it was like that whole like little group.
It was a clique.
Yeah.
It was absolutely a clique. And they were very welcoming and very open and things like that. And I think in some respects, a lot of them just grew up and life got to be where they couldn't go out to anything except for their closest friends' shows. I think
they were extremely welcoming to me as an 18-year-old. So
I think the beauty and benefit of Seneca is like we have been not in a clique, but have crossed through so many different cliques.
I mean, yeah, I've seen you used to be at like every single show, I swear. I would see you out all the time, so naturally you just meet everybody. You meet all like the little groups of people.
You got to calm down over there.
All right, man.
You got to settle
All right,
down
man.
over there.
Nobody saw that again. Version 2.
Oh man. But yeah, like we've seen like all the different kinds of little clicks, but going back to the production, like Todd Jordan was doing a lot of that. He did the first Duck Beak record.
Yeah.
He did 7 Minutes of Microwave, and 7 Minutes of Microwave, I think spiritually became Tetanus. And I remember talking with Pierce on the phone. We would DoorDash during COVID, and we'd just be on the phone for 2 or 3 hours. And I'm like, this is what we're doing with Seneca. And he's like, this is what we're doing with Tetanus. And we would just shoot the shit back and forth. Yeah, I learned a lot just from osmosis from them. And me and Mike really, really started to branch out and like get involved a little bit more. That's where Izar Estelle comes in. We did this album called The 10 Gallons, which was referred to as a cowpunk band. It was like, you know, the term cowboy chords, like country chords or whatever on acoustic
I forgot
guitar.
that was a thing.
Yeah. So it was basically like that sound, but really fast.
Fun.
And-
That sounds like fun, man.
Yeah. And the house venue that came after the Ritter House was shut down was called the Trash Palace. It was over there off of Central Avenue. And the one 10 Gallons show I actually played guitar for.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fun.
I cut the crap out of my hand and was just bleeding all over my guitar.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
I mean, that's pretty punk, so.
But outside of that, I didn't really get much of anything external until I think Wastoid. And they liked what I was doing with Seneca, and they were like, just don't make it polished. And I'm like, I promise I won't. And we did that first Wastoid record, and then things just started to kind of trickle in. And Peter was like, hey, man, you want to just bring everything up here and have a dedicated spot? And I hadn't had a dedicated spot in a while. So, yeah, we did the Wastoid record.
And the ball just started rolling.
Yeah, I signed on to do a record for My Blue Hope.
Fun.
Yeah, Aaron is a big Smashing Pumpkins, like Radiohead, Placebo
I could
fan.
tell. They were fantastic, too. I saw them a few months ago, I think. I don't remember who they were playing with, though.
No, we've got like principal recording pretty much done with that.
Sick.
He's doing a lot of amendments and some vocal stuff, but like the record's really, really good. And it's amazing working with Aaron because Aaron never really got to be in the scene until later in his life. He's in his mid 40s.
I was gonna say he's an older gentleman, isn't he?
But I've seen like the notebooks, and he's like, yeah, this song we're doing, the song's called Metal, and da-da-da. And when he writes his lyrics, he dates the songs, and I'm working on songs from the 90s.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he's been holding on to this for decades.
Yeah, and that is a very interesting feeling because you can hear it.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of them are from the early 2000s, a couple of them are from 98, 99.
Especially
and
that Smashing Pumpkins influence. Absolutely. I could tell that the first time I saw them.
Yeah, it's kind of an honor because it's like he didn't really have any more songs from the 90s, and when am I ever going to get to work on songs that old again?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like this is really sort of like a one-time thing for me. So I'm very excited about it, and we're very excited. It sounds good. It's been a blast
I
recording
can't
with him.
wait to hear it. Especially considering you're working on it and they're killer musicians. That sounds like a perfect lineup. So
Yeah, I'm excited. We just finished Backwash. That should be coming out this month at some point. Like I said, we did another Wastoid record. I mixed. Let's see, I'm trying to remember. I didn't record it. It was sent to me, but I mixed and mastered the first Alpha Strain EP.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
There were elements of that I wish I could have done different, but I didn't have the studio yet.
Yeah.
And so,
you were working with what you had.
I didn't get to record it in the way that I wanted. But I was very happy with it and very stoked about it. And that we ended up recording some more. When I got the studio, I recorded some stuff for them, and they ended up going to somebody else for mix master. I'm trying to think of what else I've done this year. It's been a blast. I did the first Subvertigo EP. I forgot about that.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that was a blast because Steven is such an amazing songwriter.
Yeah. I've heard some of their stuff. I don't know if I've ever seen them live, but I've definitely heard some of their stuff, like videos of people. Like, because, my friends will send me videos from shows, or I'll see it on people's stories. But I don't remember, when was their last show?
I know that they just got a new lineup for the most part, so it may have been
It would have been old lineup.
Yeah.
It would have been probably around this summer.
Yeah.
But I remember hearing about them, and I saw a couple of videos. They're fantastic. You worked on that?
I worked on their first EP. I did Cosmic Twink. I don't know if you remember that. That was Grace from Girl Brutal.
Oh yeah.
Music from Girl
Yeah.
Brutal, and Jacob Spooner. And it was this like hip hop infused, heavy, funky, new metal-y, like, and Jacob Spooner is just such a wild lyricist.
Yeah.
Like that. I have actually taken, I've never really told him this, but I've taken so much inspiration from him. Not in the sense of like, they had a song called Dog Song, and it was just the goofiest thing. But the imagery and the way he was able to string it together and rhyme it, like as an MC myself, like very impressed.
Yeah.
And I've taken a lot from that in my own work, just, you know, from influence and inspiration.
I mean, that's what it's about.
There's you guys. There's Slugline, the hottest new thing out of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, thank you.
I went over to Morningside, and it was a 21-up show, and this band's drawing like heads upon heads of people. So I'm telling you right now, Slugline is like the next thing in Charlotte.
We're trying. We're certainly trying.
You're doing a good job. I've heard nothing but good things about you from other people.
Yeah, somebody was somebody was telling me that their teacher, like one of my regulars at my job, was saying their teacher was talking about me. I was like, I don't know how we got to this point already. We played like 5 shows, man. But it's because we got people like you. I mean, you've been so connected in the scene. You threw us a bone with the recording. You definitely did us a huge favor. You know, like Kelly and all them. And then other bands like Pretty Baby.
Yeah.
Like all of them. Did you ever work with them on anything? I know they do most of their own stuff.
I've never worked with them in any capacity, no. I have seen a lot of them recently and wanted to connect. I do a lot of work low-key with Jake from Welcome to the Family.
Yeah. Welcome to the Family that's a good thing to be into.
Yeah. They've got a really good finger on the pulse of things. They are, like me, concerned with drawing. Like me personally, when it comes to live shows, I'm not really super concerned with the artistic side of things. If you're drawing and doing good business, that's all that matters to me. And that,
I mean, yeah,
talking about, you know, being into pro wrestling and stuff like that. Like the one thing that matters is that rear end every 18 inches in that building. As long as you're putting them and stacking them back to the top of the building, it doesn't really matter what's going on in the ring or who's talking about what, as long as you're drawing a crowd.
I could bomb on stage and it'd still be a performance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, speaking of performances, actually, because we've got a pretty good grip on what you've been working on, you know, like you've worked on Wastoid, Dead Sanity, you're working on with us, Backwash. Who else are you working with currently right before I switch? You know, us and Backwash.
You and Backwash. My Blue Hope is in
My
the
Blue
process
Hope,
of getting done. We just signed on to do this band, Villain Over Heroes. I need to check them out and get a really good grip on them. We're working on another Home for the Day album. Like I did the last Home for the Day record.
That's awesome. So you got a lot in the works.
Yeah, I do. Syndicate 99. Like I didn't even
tell me about that.
Yeah, I didn't even. They have been in the process of finding a new vocalist. We're actually going up on the 13th to do the vocals for that, and then it'll basically be done.
That's awesome. I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
I've seen them play live twice now, and they're
super rad.
They're different for Charlotte for sure.
Luke is amazing. Like the whole band is. When they were like, yeah, this is kind of our first thing. We just started. Similar to y'all, like I didn't have like a skepticism, but I was like, okay, I might have to guide a hand a little bit.
Yeah.
And for both of y'all, I didn't. Like I really, really didn't. Y'all came in and both projects got it done pretty efficiently.
I can tell you for sure that Seneca 99 kicks.
They're super rad. They're absolutely super rad.
Well, so it sounds like you're working on a lot. On top of, you just bestowed some knowledge on me, which I won't lie, you said something directly contradictory while we were in the studio. Because I remember a month ago, you'd be like, yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to play like in a band again. I only ever want to be in a band again. I just found out that Seneca Burns is going to be making a comeback.
Yeah.
I would love to hear about that. I'd love to hear as much about that as I could, actually.
We've been trying to figure out how to put the wheels back on it. You know, it's much like going to the gym, for us at least. Like when you are going that hard and you stop, it's hard.
Catch up, yeah,
it's really hard to formulate those habits again, but we're going to try. We haven't booked anything. We've gotten a lot of emails and DMs and stuff like that. And truthfully, like I want to do a specific kind of philosophy behind the shows. Like when we toured with Keep Flying, you know, I don't know if you've played shows with a lot of like the touring bands that come in, but
no.
So there's like, you do like a sandwich bill and you'll have 2 locals and the 2 touring bands in the middle.
Yes.
Keep Flying headlines. And they're like, if there's 12 people there, Keep Flying headlines. If there's 100 people there, Keep Flying headlines. And they're like, we're of the age, Like, this is where we are in our life. You know, we need to own our crowds. We're not trying to jock for, you know, because they do draw crowds everywhere they go, and they don't want people to, you know, see them play third and then leave, and some local band, you know, nobody stays for them.
It's always really sad when that happens. So.
Yeah, and so like right now in my head, I'm like, regionally, I don't want to play 3-band bills. I want to play, I don't want to play 4-band bills. I want to play 3-band bills, and I want to headline them because, you know, I want to take that chance and see if we can be that kind of band. I think from a community standpoint, people are more susceptible to stay for the whole show if it's only 3 bands. If the show's cheaper, I want to run cheaper shows. I want to run $5 shows. I'm not doing it for the money. Like, most of our money is made on merch anyway.
I don't think we've even played a show where it's not been free yet. So
yeah, like, I've seen ticket prices creep up, and I've put a mental cap on what the prices of some venues should be. Like, certain venues, I'm not paying. I don't think anybody should pay $20 to go to.
Absolutely not. No.
It just, like, if you're going to a giant show, you know, whatever, but like certain venues, and it's nothing on these bands, it's nothing on, you know, the quality of their music or performance. It's just
it's local. Like, it's supposed to be accessible.
It's economics. It's economics.
Yeah.
And so in my philosophy, I'm like, okay, well, if we can headline a bunch of $5 3-band bills and they do incredible, that does nothing but make us look great.
Yeah.
And if they do incredible because they're cheaper and easily accessible and everything like that, if we had a $10 ticket and drew 10 people, we're not going to make as much money as if we had a $5 ticket and drew 100 people.
Also, once you open up that accessibility, it's a lot more room for new fans and stuff. So.
Exactly. So we don't have anything booked right now. I talked to you about wanting to do a house show. I'm talking to some people, and we've got a lot of things on the table. Literally, as soon as I leave here, I'm going to go to lunch and make a couple of calls. But we're going to try to put the wheels back on it. We've got like 30-something songs that are basically in different, like, varying stages of being
unrecorded?
complete. No, completely recorded.
Oh, so like new stuff though.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And
so new music on the way.
Yeah, we're going to talk to our manager when we get probably about 20, the 20 that we're most comfortable with.
Yeah.
And cut it down to what would be a nice little 2-album thing, and just start pitching to labels, because we were supposed to do that last year and we've took the break and never came back. So
you guys are making like a full balls to the wall.
We want to play like 70 shows this year.
Really?
Yeah. The last year we played, I think we did like 64 or 65 or something like that.
Well, there's tons of great local bands that are coming up right now. I know
like Slugline.
I know you said like Slugline, but there's other ones too, like Little Heart Machine.
I've actually never heard of Little Heart Machine. Are you putting me on right now?
Little Heart Machine, because we're thinking about doing a little something for our EP release that you're working on. And we've got a few bands that I've heard of and I've seen live, and specifically I'm friends with Little Heart Machine. They're great people, fantastic band. Them, like Aurora's Hope, they were really good. The last time I saw them, Black Cherry.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen or heard of Black Cherry, I've been telling them if they need recording to go to you. Same with Little Heart. I've been saying that to all my friends and bands. But there's tons of like bands that are like coming out like right now, like alongside us. It's like a little like newbie scene. And so, dude, there's gonna be no shortage of bands for you to play 70 shows this year.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
And you go multi-city too. So
yeah, that's the thing is, like, I feel like a lot of people, when we talk about clicking up, and like they get wrapped in their click, and then things start to slow down a little bit, and then everybody just kind of fizzles out because nobody stays in touch with what's next.
Blinders, they narrow their vision.
Exactly. And I think it's so important, like, again, for me to stay plugged in with Slugline, a brand new band. I could be, you know, stuck in my ways of 2022 and 2023, and it's just like, oh, well, Seneca Burns and Wastoid are the only bands that exist, and da-da-da. But, you know, the scene rolls on with or without you, and you got to stay plugged in. You got to stay, you know, hip to what the kids are doing.
Is there anything else you want to touch on before we've run this one to almost the end? We've got a minute and a half left. Is there anything else you want to say about it?
I mean, I just appreciate you guys for letting me come on and talk. It's been a pleasure. It's been really class. I mean, as somebody who's like, my father was in radio for 35 years, like, this is an excellent setup and operation you got going here. And
it's all about local music too. It's all about community.
Hey, if you need any suggestions for people to come on the segment, like I got tons of people.
Oh yeah,
tons of people.
You're probably the most well-connected person I know, like locally music. So, but This is Atticus, man. This guy has been in Seneca Burns. What was the name of the band right before Atticus Lane? Duckbeak.
Duckbeak. It was
Duckbeak,
Atticus
Seneca
Lane.
Burns, Atticus Lane.
Yeah, I did solo stuff as Atticus Lane. I did Duckbeak for a little while, and then Seneca Burns is the last band I will ever formally join. I don't want to do anything else with my life.
Fair enough. Well, Seneca Burns is a good one to end out on. And for anyone watching, if you're a musician, you're local, you need a producer, someone to mix, record, master.
Even if you're not local and you want to send me stems,
Exactly.
like I'll go to work for it, and I'm not expensive, and yeah. I always tell people, especially locally, like I don't charge for recording. I just charge for the mix master because I record with the mix master in mind. Because trying to set somebody else's stems up are just crazy. But I'm rambling. We got 13 seconds.
Well, yeah. This has been Atticus Lane with Local Music Somewhere. Thank you guys so much for tuning in again this week. And hopefully next time we'll have another interesting guest. So, toodaloo. Bye-bye.